Why are big breaths a problem?
It increases tension. Squeezes the body.
Yeah. So imagine walking up to somebody and going, "Hi Beth, how you doing? It's so good to see you." How silly would that be? Right? If you were to walk up, how big a breath would you take?
Enough for the phrase.
That's it. You'd go, "Hi Beth, good to see you." And you'd be right back at neutral. And it would be easy. So why do we breathe so much when we sing? Because our director said take a deep breath. So let me give you a director ease translation. When the director says take a deep breath, she's not saying take a big breath. She's saying breathe all the way down to your toes. Feel the breath low in your body. Not, but let the breath fill you from the bottom up. So if you want to sing for a longer time, don't take a bigger breath. Use your straw. Use your air more efficiently. Next slide, please. It's important to keep your core muscles firm all the time when singing barbershop. Six-pack.
Oh, I don't think I'll ever have a six-pack.
It's in there. Every single one of us has a six-pack. There's just a little padding on top of it. For most of us. The six-pack muscle is known as the rectus abdominis. It lives right here. It runs north to south along the body, and its job is to pull the trunk forward or the legs up. So if you flex your six-pack muscles, even yours, and while doing that, take a deep breath. How deep a breath did you get? Not very, exactly, because there's nowhere for our diaphragm to go. Where are your lungs in your body? Point to them.
Right down here.
Right, they're way up here actually. They're way up here. And here is a muscle called the diaphragm. Have we heard of the diaphragm before? Everybody's pointing at their boobs. Diaphragm does this. This is in its relaxed state. The muscles of the lungs are non-existent. There are no lung muscles. They are just flappy bags of air. So intercostal muscles are between the rib cage. They don't touch the pleura of the lung lining. If we want to expand the lungs, though, we have to change the size of the room in which they live. So we can make the chest bigger. Can everybody breathe into their chest? Stand back, citizen. Exactly. So we can make the walls bigger. But muscles, do they push or do they pull? They always pull. Muscles always pull. It's like ropes don't push, right? You can pull because when muscles engage, they get shorter. So if we want to lift our shoulders and ribs up like this, we have to use muscles above them. And where are those muscles? My goodness, they're right here. In the back. And then we have a problem. Exactly. So instead of moving the ceiling and walls of the room so much, we want to expand wide using the external intercostals. But we want to allow the diaphragm to descend. But there's stuff down here. What lives underneath your diaphragm?
Your intestines.
Your intestines, colloquially known as your guts, live down here. So we have to relax and allow the diaphragm to descend. So this is for demonstration. If I relax the abdominals and let the diaphragm descend, I can get a much deeper breath. Can you place a hand on your tummy and allow your breath to push your tummy out? Take a breath in. Allow your breath to push your tummy forward. Now, many of us have been taught, suck that in. Nobody wants to see that. Well, I'll tell you what, you can't look skinny and sing well at the same time. So, you're among friends. So, we want to allow this to expand. The diaphragm is going to push your guts forward. Allow your breath to push your hand forward. You feel any movement there? What would it be like? Can you make a Santa Claus belly? Oh, oh, oh. Beautiful, okay. Now, allow your, blow your breath out. And how can you get all of your air out? Yeah. Okay. Now we're gonna open our throat and relax. what happens? Air comes in. How hard did you have to work to inhale?
Just had to open your mouth.
You just had to let go. This is a great way to breathe. Can you imagine if you're just singing and all you had to do is, and all of a sudden you had air for the next phrase? This is what happens when we allow our chest to be wide and we let the movement happen here.